NoFap across age groups. That's what we're covering in this video. So anyways, guys, another viewer commented down on the comments below one of my videos. I was like, you know what? This is actually a really interesting comment. I'm going to go ahead and read it for you guys. And you guys be like, oh shit, you know what? You guys will understand my perspective, my take on it. And you'll kind of understand a little bit more in depth. But anyways, guys, here's the comment. True NoFap definitely benefits all ages. But from my experience, recovery is much quicker the younger you are. So this is something that, you know, it's pretty obvious if you guys don't know how it's obvious. But here's the thing, you know, as you age, your testosterone starts going down and down. It starts decreasing, you know, your natural testosterone. So like your recovery also, you know, your body starts healing slower. It's one of those things that, you know, as age, your body's going to start falling apart. And it's something that, you know, like older people, if they go start doing surgeries or anything like that, it'll probably take them months to recover. When it across somebody much younger and youthful, you know, it could probably take them a month or two and they'll be back to normal. It's one of those things that, you know, as you age, your recovery process pretty much slows down and it starts going downhill. But anyways, guys, back to the comment. So, you know, younger you are, for example, when I was in my early 20s, the benefits were way more pronounced, or at least much more noticeable. Earlier on, usually I'd feel a difference within 2 to 6 days at most. Then the benefits would increase exponentially until a flatline occurred. So yeah, you know, you are gonna notice your benefits right away, especially if you're on the younger side. I'm gonna say all the way up into your 30s. I'm assuming this viewer is probably like 40, 50 maybe. That's if I'm just guessing. I'm not too for sure on this person's age, but you know, that 30 mark is when your testosterone starts going downhill. So that's why I say, you know, maybe around 40, a little bit. It could be like 35, but your recovery is quick. So the flatline, guys, here's the thing with the flatline. You're going to always hit a flatline point when you're doing retention. You're going to be like, oh, you know what? I'm not noticing any benefits. And the reason that is pretty much because, you know, you start getting all these benefits and you just become used to them. You don't really notice, hey, you know what? There's this benefit, there's that benefit. You're just constantly getting it day in, day out, and it's the same thing over and over, and eventually it just becomes, you know, second nature to you. You become used to it. It's like, hey, you know what? Where's the benefits? Where do they go? And you still have them, but you got used to them. It's one of those things that, you know, I noticed this with like drinking coffee or caffeine, energy drinks. I mean, it's not good for you, energy drinks or anything like that, guys. But, you know, if you guys have done this before, you're going to notice, like, you know what? You have to start increasing more and more caffeine to pretty much feel more and more awake. It's one of those side effects that happens, you know, when you happen to reach this point in the flatline stage, but keep that in mind. Anyways, guys, going back to the story. So the flatline come. So on the other hand, withdrawal symptoms flatline come and go at all different times, regardless of your age, sometimes ranging for longer periods than others, days, weeks / months, which may happen more frequently, and the side effects can be much more worse even as young boy or man versus an older adult. Now that I'm 35, it takes me about 10 to 14 days to really feel the benefits start to kick in, except for tired eyes. Hard to open them in the morning until around day 4 of NoFap for me. So pretty much, you know, I believe this is like the brain fog stage. You know, your mind's not thinking clearly. That's when you're going to be feeling like your droopy eyes. I noticed this personally within myself, you know, when you release your seed and you're like, oh shit, you know what? I feel like probably within 30 minutes, my eyes start feeling like really tired and droopy. I know a lot of guys, they freaking relate, you know, that's why they kind of beat the meat before going to bed. It's one of those things that it gets you tired, and pretty much that's part of like the droopy eyes this guy's talking about. But anyways, you know, as you start progressing throughout your streaks, you're going to start noticing your eyes feeling more and more lifted. Other people are going to notice it. They're going to notice the way you're talking, the way you're confident, the way you're walking, the way you're just presenting yourself. It's like really different. Anyways, guys, back to the story. Okay, so he does explain how old he is. Now that I am 35, it takes me about 10 to 14 days, which I did read that earlier. I forgot about that. But yeah, he's 35. So, you know, I was assuming probably like 40, 50, but this guy's 35, and it takes him about 10 to 14 days, which, you know, before it used to take him 2 to 6 days in his 20s. So that's a real big difference. It kind of doubled there. So like, let's say the 6 days, it went from 6 to pretty much 12, which is the 10 to 14 days. So 12 is like in the middle. Anyways, guys, so now that I'm 35, it takes me about 10 to 14 days to really feel the benefits start to kick in, except for the tired eyes. Also, from my experiences, I'd say at any age, the best benefit is being able to better cope with restlessness, feeling tired, but you either cannot sleep or are too busy working. So this is something that I talk about in some of my videos, not all of them, but you know, you start feeling really, really energetic, and you'll wake up like in the middle of the night. Also, another thing that could be possibly affecting it is, you know, using your screen time late at night. I know I tend to do this quite a bit, but anyways, guys, you'll start feeling really, really energetic. You're like, shit, you know what? I can't go back to sleep. I want to get my day started. And it's really, really weird. You start feeling like this crazy energy that you want to get stuff done. So anyways, back to the story. Cannot sleep or too busy working and are more in control of your emotions during NoFap. You naturally think positive thoughts where areas before you would feel almost like your mind is programmed to think negative. And that is, life is basically just a never-ending war and constantly having to fight off anxiety, stress. So this other one is a little bit related to retention. Also, you know, personal thoughts. This is something that everybody pretty much goes through. You know, you're always constantly thinking. I mean, there's times that my mind is constantly blank and it's nice, but then again, I notice the day goes right past me and I don't even notice it. But you know, when you do start practicing retention, and it's weird, you get like into this zen stage and you're like, oh shit, you know what, things are actually going my way. You start feeling a little bit happier, and that's one thing that testosterone does. It uplifts your spirit. It actually makes you more and more positive as a person and as an individual. But you know, there will be points throughout your life that it just happens naturally. You're gonna be feeling down and alone, stressed out, you know, going through anxiety, all kinds of other shit. But this is just part of life, guys. It's just natural. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna sum up the video. Don't forget to drop that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and see some of my other videos.